So, ladies and gentlemen, bad news on the diamond today. The man I consider one of the greatest managers of all time, who's a big part of my youth, and anybody who grew up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, look at this guy as the guru of baseball. Whitey Herzog, the Hall of Fame manager who guided the Cardinals to three pennants and a World Series title in the 1980s, and perfected a nail biting strategy known as Whitey Ball, has died. He was 92. Of course, he won the World Series in '82 and was the '85 title was stolen, but that's another story altogether. Cardinals spokesperson Brian Bardo said Tuesday in an article on Associated Press the squad had been informed of his death by Herzog's family. The team was not yet sure whether it happened Monday night or Tuesday. Herzog had been at Busch Stadium on April 4th for the Cardinals team home opener, and of course he recently celebrated his 92nd birthday. A crew cut pot-bellied tobacco chewer who had no patience for the Buddy Buddy School of Management. Herzog joined the Cardinals in 1980 and helped end the team's decade-plus pennant drought by adapting it to the artificial turf and distant fences of Busch Memorial Stadium with the Ozzie Smith-led squad. A typical Cardinals victory under Herzog was a low-scoring one-run game, sealed in the final innings by a bullpen by committee. Relievers who might be replaced after a single pitch or temporarily shifted to the outfield and brought back to the mound. The Cardinals had power hitters in the great George Hendrick and Jack Clark, but he mostly relied on the speed and resourcefulness of switch hitters Vince Coleman and Willie McGee, the acrobatic fielding of shortstop and future Hall of Famer Ozzie Smith, who came over from the Padres, and the effective pitching of starters such as Don Tudor and Danny Cox, and relievers Todd Worrell, Ken Daly, and Jeff Lottie. For the '82 title winner, Herzog didn't bother rotating relievers, but simply brought in Hall of Famer Bruce Sutter to finish the job. The media seem to think there's something wrong with the way we play baseball, with speed of defense and line drive hitters. Herzog wrote in his popular memoir, White Rat, The Life in Baseball, published in '87. They called it Whitey Ball and said it couldn't last. Now, under Herzog, the Cards won pennants in '82, '85, and '87, and won that title in '82, when he edged the Brewers in 7 tough games. He also managed the Royals to division titles in '76 and '78, but he lost each time in the league title series to the New York Yankees. So you're looking from 1976 to 1987. Again, arguably he was the greatest manager in baseball. Overall, Herzog was a manager for 18 seasons with a combined record of 1281, 1125, and was named Manager Year in '85 and voted in the Hall of Fame by the Veterans Committee in 2010. His plaque noted his stern yet good natured style and his emphasis on speed, pitching, and defense. Just because before he formally entered the Hall, the Cardinals retired his uniform number 24. When asked about the secrets of managing, he would reply a sense of humor and a good bullpen. Daryl Norman Elvert Herzog was born in New Athens, Illinois, a blue collar community that would shape him long after he left. He excelled in baseball and basketball and was open to skipping the occasional class to take in the Cardinals game. Signed by the Yankees, he was a center fielder who discovered that he had competition from a prospect born just weeks before him, the great Mickey Mantle. Herzog never played for the Yankees, but he did get to know manager Casey Stengel, another master shoveler of players who became a key influence. The light-haired Herzog was named a White Rat because of his resemblance to Yankees pitcher Bob the White Rat Kuzava. Like so many successful managers, Herzog was a mediocre player, batting just .257 over 8 seasons and playing several positions. His best year was with Baltimore in '61, when he hit a career-high .291. He also played for the Senators, Athletics, and Detroit Tigers, with whom he ended his playing career in '63. Baseball has been good to me since I quit trying to play it, he liked to say. Now, after working as a scout and coach, he was hired in '67 by the New York Mets as director of player development, with Tom Seaver and Nolan Ryan among the future stars he helped bring along. The Mets liked him well enough to designate him to be successor to Gil Hodges, but when the manager died suddenly in '72, the job went to Yogi Berra. Herzog instead debuted with the Rangers the following season, finishing just 47.91 before being replaced by Billy Martin. He managed the Angels for a few games in '74 and joined the Royals the following season. His time with Kansas City peaked in '77, with a team finished an impressive 102-60. Many players spoke warmly of Herzog, but he didn't hesitate to rid his teams of those he no longer wanted, dumping such Cardinal stars as outfielder Lonnie Smith and the GOAT of the 85 series, starting pitcher Joaquin Andujar. One trade worked out brilliantly. Before the 82 season, he exchanged 300 hitting shortstop Gary Templeton, whom Herzog had chastised for not hustling, for the Padres light hitting Ozzie Smith, now widely regarded as the best defensive shortstop in the history of the game. Another deal was far less successful. Gold Glove first baseman Keith Hernandez, with whom Herzog had feuded, was traded to the Mets in the middle of '83 for pitchers Neil Allen and Rick Ownby. Hernandez left New York to the World Series title for the Mets in '86, while Allen and Ownby were soon forgotten. Herzog was just as tough on himself, resigning in the middle of the 1990 season because he was embarrassed by his team's 33-47 record. He did serve as a consultant and GM for the Angels in the early 90s and briefly considered managing the Red Sox before the 97 season. Now, the 82 title championship was the highlight of his career, and his greatest blow was the 85 series. The Cardinals were up 3-2 against his former team, the Royals, and in Game 6 led 1-0 going to bottom of the ninth, with Worrell in to finish the job. George Orta led off and grounded the 0-2 pitch between the mound and first base. In one of the most famous blown calls in baseball history, he was ruled safe by umpire Don Denkinger, even though replay showed first baseman Jack Clark's toss, though Worrell was in time. I watched that game live. He was out by a St. Louis River. The Cardinals never recovered. Kansas City rallied for 2 runs in the tie series and crushed the Cardinals 11-0 in Game 7. No, I'm not bitter at Denkinger, Herzog told AP years later. He's a good guy. He knows he made a mistake and he's a human being. It happened at an inopportune time, but I do think they ought to have instant replay in the playoffs and World Series, and that their loss changed the game. As of testing Herzog's humor, the Hall inducted him alongside an umpire, Doug Harvey. I don't know why he should get in, Herzog joked at the time. Doug can kick me out of more games than any other umpire. So, ladies and gentlemen, Major League Baseball is like this. It's an easy game. You throw the ball, you hit the ball, you catch the ball. But Whitey Herzog, to me, this is the weirdest thing. When the Blue Jays lost in 1985, and when Fernandez got injured in '87, we lost the pennant. When we lost in the late '80s, early '90s, before we won the World Series, everybody was saying if Whitey Herzog would have coached and managed his team, they would never have lost. You played for Whitey Herzog, you had to give 110% because the guy that was managing you was given 120%. Whitey Herzog is probably, I'm sorry I never interviewed him or even met him. I would love to ask him about baseball, because you look at Scotty Bowman with the Montreal Canadiens, you look at Toe Blake, you look at Punch Imlach, all these different coaches over the years, and you might would say the current NHL coaches. What Whitey Herzog was St. Louis baseball. When you think about the Cardinals, you think of Whitey Herzog, and he's really going to miss. And my condolences go to all the St. Louis Cardinals fans of all different stripes and ages. The Cardinals were always affectionate for us in Canada because they were the NL East, and when the Cardinals succeeded means the Expos had pushed them to be better that year. But that 82 post-strike season, only Whitey Herzog and the Cardinals brought it all back. Howard Cosell insulted Willie McGee in relation to his certain resemblance to a science fiction character, and Herzog said, what do you expect? He said, all announcers are nuts, just like managers. So take it as you will. So, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you, Whitey Herzog. If you like what we're doing here with our tribute podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share.